A very warm welcome to this second quarterfinal in the Sport for Business Super Quiz 2020. Both of these teams have come through in the round of 16 and are now just one match away from a place in the semi-finals. So without further ado, let's meet the two teams. First of all, the team captain for RTE Sport, Jim McMahon.
How are you doing, Rob? How are things? I'm very happy to be here on this Friday morning to captain the RTE Sports team in this, what I hope will be and what I think will be a crunch and exciting quarterfinal. I'm also very glad to have two able colleagues alongside me here today. I'll pass you over now to Owen Ryan.
Hello everybody, it's great to be here.
And to Conor Neville.
How's everyone? How are you?
Great, well, the best of luck to RTE Sport. And moving over to the team from Core Sponsorship, captained as he was in the first round by the very able Phil Green.
Hey Rob, hi guys, Phil Green, client manager from Core Sponsorship. I'm delighted to be back again for another round today, hoping for more questions about years when Kildare won the Leinster Championship like last time out. I'll let Sean and Jill introduce themselves.
Hey guys, I'm Sean Ray, Head of Media Sponsorship at Core Sponsorship. I've been keeping a close tab on the video so far on this, so looking forward to get stuck in. Hopefully we get a win. It'd be a nice way to end the week.
Hi all, I'm Jill Downey from Core Sponsorship, and I'm filling in for our resident genius Noel Martin, so no pressure on me. He's otherwise engaged today, unfortunately, so
Noel has like the advantage in rugby or football. Then today he's he's on for nothing. You know, if you win, it's great, and if you lose, well, it was probably all down to him. He was pretty hot on the big number questions, all right, but I'm putting that down to more luck than genius. So, so the very best of luck to both of the teams and to all six of you in trying to find your way around the somewhat evil at times structures of my mind in finding some of these questions. We've got a slight change to the format in the quarterfinals. We're going to have 3 rounds of general knowledge, history, and popular culture, each of which will be introduced by a 2-point starter question first off. Then in the 4th round, going into halftime, it's going to be a round on sport, which each team is going to get 3 questions of their own. Then in the second half, the 3 rounds will be on geography, politics, and the movies. And then we'll go into the final round, the crunch, the decider on a particular sporting year and your particular knowledge of that. Now, each of the starter questions today are based around particular athletes, and to get us underway, to get us into the general knowledge questions, we introduce everything you know or everything you wanted to know about the magnificent Shane Lowry. So you think you know Shane Lowry? Well, let's see. The starter question for the general knowledge round: how many pounds in weight does Shane Lowry weigh according to the PGA Tour official statistics? How many pounds does he weigh according to the PGA Tour? I didn't fly out to America last night and put him on the scales to find out, so it might be a little up or down. But we'll count you in from 3, 2, 1 for your best shot. If you raise up your numbers now. 215, 180, 170, 196, and just hold it back a little bit. 190, Connor. And Jim, what are you? Just hold it back a little bit there.
185.
185. Okay. Well, he might have been doing a little bit more celebrating because Sean is closest with the 215. He actually weighs in officially at 216 pounds. So off the mark for Core Sponsorship. And your general knowledge questions. Question number 1, you get 5 points if you get it right. It's 3 points if it goes over the table to RTE Sport. How many astronauts have walked on the moon?
Oh, I think I know this one.
Much further than me, I haven't a clue, so I'm happy to.
I think it's 12.
I'm happy to go with that.
Sean, coming into the game, playing a blinder for the start, but it's a marathon, not a sprint. It is 12 astronauts that have walked on the moon, so well done. The second question: what is the smallest breed of bird that we have in the animal kingdom?
Oh, Any ideas, guys?
I'd be taking a pure guess at a breed of bird I know.
Yeah. What's any suggestions? Is it like a hummingbird? Is that small? I have no idea. Yeah. No. Jill, what about you?
Jeez, I don't know, like a bleachers or something like that. I don't. No idea.
Go with that.
No, I've no idea.
It's as informed as our idea.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, for those who don't know, Jill is actually the boss. Okay, so what are we going with? We'll go with the blue tip.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm afraid that's not the correct answer. RTE Sport, a chance to get off the mark.
I think Sean might have been right. Maybe hummingbirds. I know they're tiny.
Hummingbird. I was going to go with hummingbird.
Okay, this is one of those kick yourself moments, I'm afraid. It is, in fact, the hummingbird, the bee hummingbird.
I actually said hummingbird, so I don't even know if I had the bird right. So that's all right.
Yeah, I think Henningberg is a footballer, and probably not all that small. Okay, so both teams off the mark. And back into the third general knowledge question to you first, Core. What is the two-letter periodic table element for silver?
Oh, I think I know this.
Go for it.
Do you know this? Oh, it's either PB or it's P's. Gold and silver. Gold and silver are quite similar, so I think it. Oh God, PB is in my head, but that could be gold.
I don't think it's PB. So if you have
don't?
No, I think I know what PB is. No, I could be wrong, but.
What do you think PB is then?
I think that's lead.
Oh yeah, actually, you could be right. I know gold and silver are very similar. Jeez, it's the wrong time to say I've got a science degree, isn't it? Yeah, PB is lead, definitely. Actually, now that you say it. So is it? We may as well guess at something.
Tom, have you any ideas?
No, I literally have a clue.
So I think gold is AU.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know why. I guess PL. I don't think it's right, but.
Okay, we'll go with PL.
AG is silver, I think. If gold is AU, I think silver is AG then.
Okay, cool. We'll go with that. AG.
Okay, we'll go with AG. Last minute winner. Well done.
I knew they were similar, and if you hadn't said AU, I wouldn't have got it. So.
Okay, that's good teamwork anyway. But at the end of the first general knowledge round, both teams are off the mark anyway. So Core Sponsorship come in with 12, and RTE Sport got that rebound there. So you're on to 3 points. Okay, the second one is on popular culture. But to get us there, we need to get the lowest competition round that Shane Lowry has shot in his career. And if we have a draw on this, then it goes to the second nearest from your teammates. So the lowest competition round that he has shot. And we'll count you in from 3, 2, 1. 62, 61, 63, 69, 62, and Jim?
61.
61. It was, in fact, the third round of last year's Open Championship at Royal Portrush, where he shot a 63. So well done to Jill. That's it. Nice fist bump. Okay, so another 2 points. Core seem to have pretty strong strength and depth on these big number questions. But so you're first up anyway. Popular culture. Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and Chicago Med are all perhaps a little bit unimaginative, but major hit shows on which US TV network? Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and Chicago Med. Which network are they the hit shows on?
Anyone have any feeling other than naming 3 random letters that make up an American network?
Yeah.
Well, maybe one that's based in Chicago? No?
Yeah, is there?
Exceeds my knowledge.
What's that free network called again in America? The big kind of free.
There's a couple of them.
Yeah, there's one
one that jumped into my head was ABC, but I mean, that's literally the first 3 letters of the alphabet as well. So
Yeah, I was thinking that as well. There's another one. I don't want to mention it as well, but the USA Network, I think, do a few sick like shows like that as well. But I'd be guessing.
Looks like a guess. Which one will we go with?
What do you think, Phil? Do you want to go with NBC?
I was going with ABC, but
ABC. Yeah, sorry. Go with that then. Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with ABC. Unfortunately, that is not the right answer. So a chance for RTE Sport to come in.
CBS.
CBS,
Well, they went for-
NBC,
I
NBC.
guessed NBC. I mean, on the principle that we got it right, that's the one they guessed. They heard it with before.
So what are we going for?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's take your pick. Anything but ABC, I'd say.
Yeah.
Okay, so pick them.
CBS or NBC, it's a
CBS.
We go with CBS. There are 3 major networks in America. One is ABC, one is CBS, and one is the one that has a lot of Chicago programs on it, NBC. Unlucky. Okay, the second question, popular culture. There are 8 sporting programs and the Late Late Toy Show that made up 9 of last year's top 10 programs on RTE or on Irish television. What was the last of the programs? So the one outside of sport and the Late Late Toy Show that made the top 10 of Ireland's top TV programs in 2019.
Oh, I think I know. Is it Room to Improve?
that was my gut on it as well. But
Yeah.
We'd
be kicked for not knowing this, lads, wouldn't we?
Yeah, well, this is
I think
it's either going to be the media agency or RTE. Like, I mean,
yeah. I think it's Room to Improve.
I'm happy to go with it. Jill, do you have any advance?
So of the top 10 programs on Irish national, sorry, you said sport. Okay, so
that wasn't sport, but not the toy show. That's the question, is it?
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, eight sport in the toy show.
I'm pretty sure it's Room.
There was definitely one of those that was very high. All right. Feels like there's something else though. Maybe one of the Primetime Investigates or something like that. But anyway, go with that because I don't want to derail your thought process. If that's the first thing you thought of, then you're probably right.
I'm pretty sure I've seen it on a few decks.
Okay, we'll go with Room to Improve. Wrong decks that you're looking at, I'm afraid, Sean. You're going to struggle to live this one down. So it goes over to RTE Sport. One of the programs that wasn't produced by your own team that made the top 10. What was it?
I know the Shane McGowan tribute, was that last year or was that earlier this year?
That was earlier this year.
That got big ratings.
Yeah.
Leaders' debates would have been this year.
Yeah. The Rose of Tralee is always quite high.
Yeah.
The Rose of Tralee.
It was produced by RT, was it? Wasn't produced by RT.
Not RT Sport, I think.
Not by RTE Sport.
It's not something
Eurovision?
like a slightly dodgy sitcom RTE put out, is it? Not Mrs. Brown's Boys, one of the specials.
One of those Christmas specials.
I mean, they are watched by all accounts.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Go with that.
Mrs. Brown, yeah.
Christmas special. Yeah.
Mrs. Brown's Boys, unfortunately not. It does tend to win Christmas. You were far too highbrow. In fact, it was the final of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, which had the princely sum of 724 million viewers tuning in. Okay, so a chance to boost your popular culture credentials by getting at least one of them right. Question 3, back to core media first. In which year did Facebook acquire Instagram?
I don't know off the top of your head, guys.
No, nothing even jumping out to me. I'd be taking a stab.
Yeah.
It's not that long ago, though. It's just like it's not ages ago.
It's not ages ago, but it was before WhatsApp. And WhatsApp was probably 3 or 4 years at this stage.
Yeah, I was going to say like 13 or 14 maybe, but
yeah.
That was kind of the time scale I was thinking, but
around then. What do we want to? I would say one of those, yeah.
Maybe slightly earlier, was it? I've no memory.
I'd be happy enough 2013, but I don't.
Okay, let's just go with that.
Yeah, go with that.
Okay, Go with 2013. Not the right answer, I'm afraid. RTE, over to you.
Slightly more recently, maybe 2014, 2015.
2015 would be my instinct, but that's, that's only top of the head.
Yeah, again, either 15 or 16. I don't think it's that too far back.
Should go 15 if we all think
2015.
2015. It was, in fact, a little bit further back. It was 2012 when they acquired Instagram. So at the end of the popular culture round, not much of a change, but with the 2 points, Core move on to 14 and RTE on 3 still. So the third round is the history round. And to get us in there, our final question on Shane Lowry's numbers. In the 41 rounds that he played on the PGA Tour last year, what was the average number of birdies that he scored?
Oh, Rob.
I know. I have a tortured mind, but...
Is it the average per round?
Is it?
The average number of birdies per round.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay.
Not in decimal points, are we?
We are in decimal points.
Oh, we are.
We are in decimal points. It's the nearest to it, so you don't need to get it exactly. You just need to get it close. You might not have seen every round. You might not have seen every birdie, but I'll count you in now to give us your best shot. From 3, 2, 1. 6.4, 8, 6.2, 3.7, 3, and 3.5. RTE Sport have gone with the low ball numbers, and amongst you, you've got it right. 3.85 was the average number of birdies per round he scored. So that's 2 points on the board, and you get the history round, leading us towards the halftime mark. So question 1 in the history round: in which year did the Spanish Civil War come to an end? In which year did the Spanish Civil War come to an end?
37 or 38?
Started in 36, so it must have been 37, 38, 39.
38 maybe?
Yeah. What do you think, Jim?
I just have 39 in my head, but I mean, since the two of you are saying 38, but
well, like I'm open to 39. I mean, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
39. So.
Oh God.
Go on, Jim. Say it.
No, I won't. I'll hold it. No, 39.
1939, 1st of April 1939 was the Spanish Civil War.
Yeah.
Well done.
That was a Saturday, by the way.
Sorry, this is fun. It takes about 5 years off your life, and I apologize for that. But okay, question 2 in the history round. Who was the oldest US president to be first elected to the office? So which American president was the oldest at the time of his election to the office for the first time?
Wasn't Trump,
Reagan was pretty old.
Ronald Reagan was...
He died in 2004 at the age of about...
Ronald Reagan was born, I think, in 1911. So he was just shy of his 70th birthday when he was inaugurated. Trump
that makes him younger than Trump.
Yeah, Trump was born. Was Trump born in 46?
46.
But he would have been
70.
Oh, 70 going. Yeah, 70.
Would Trump be the answer? I mean, we could go back further. I mean, how old was like?
Yeah, what other oldies were?
They could have been very old back in the year. Grover Cleveland or someone. I mean, yeah.
Or what about Woodrow Wilson? Was he?
I don't know. Was he that old?
No. See, I just.
I mean, Trump. We've worked out Trump is older than Reagan, so we've established that, haven't we? Because they're the oldest modern ones.
They're the two standing out. Is Trump definitely older than Reagan? If he was, I'd go for Trump.
I just think. Let's see. I think Reagan was born in 1911.
He died in 2004. What age was he when he died?
Well, according to my maths, then he would have been 93. But 1911. I just think Reagan.
Was it definitely 1911 he was born?
I think, yeah, 1911. But I'm not sure when. You see, what month? I think.
Well, he got elected in 1980, so if it was 1911, Trump would be older.
Yeah, but I mean, Trump was
born in June 46.
He was born in June. All right, so Trump is older. Yeah.
Okay, lads,
Trump.
I'm going to press
Trump.
you for an answer.
We go for Trump. So.
Go Donald Trump. I
Trump.
apologize to the world for bringing Donald Trump into the quiz, but it was, in fact, Donald Trump at the age of 70 years, 220 days. And Ronald Reagan was 69 at his time of stepping up. So into the third and final question in the history round. Only one leader of the 1916 Rising was executed outside of Ireland. Who was he?
Casement, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Roger Casement.
Yeah.
Roger Casement was hung in a London jail in 1916, so that is correct. And a full house, 17 points from that round, moves you on to 20, and core sponsorship still very much within range there on 14 points. Okay, so we move into the sports round. Each of you gets 3 questions to answer on this, and we've ascertained that the team which is trailing gets to go first on it. So core sponsorship on your 14 points, you can add to that with the answer to 3 questions, which we'll put to you now. Okay, so who was the Liverpool captain when they last won the league title in 1990?
You, Phil. I know it was before your time.
I spent the start of the call telling everyone that I wasn't born the last time this happened. So let me think.
Wasn't your man? Could be going back to the 70s, or sorry, no, it's not 1990, isn't it? That wouldn't be him.
Yeah, 89, 90 was. And lads are going to know this, so we can kind of talk free enough, I'd say. So Hansen
was in my mind.
Hansen was still at the club, and he definitely played that day against QPR, because he didn't play basically then until after Dalglish left nearly. So it's probably who I'd go with.
Who else is on that team though? Like Barnes would have been.
He wouldn't have been captain. He was on the team though.
Souness gone, yeah.
So it's like Hansen, Stevie Nicol, Steve McMahon. They're the kind of people.
Yeah. So who would have been?
I'd say Hansen, but that's not particularly comfortable.
Well, can you picture them lifting the trophy? That team.
I'd say they did lift it a lot at that stage. So the years went into it. I'm kind of stuck on Hansen now, but I don't mind.
Okay,
go for it.
Go for that. Your final answer.
Yeah.
Alan Hansen is correct.
Lovely, Phil.
Bear in mind it was before the Premier League, so they might have just given them the trophy and medals at a dinner dance sort of 3 weeks later in more traditional style. But no, it was indeed Alan Hansen. So 5 points on the board there. How many times have Ireland won the 5 or 6 Nations Championship since France joined in 1910? So not including the home championships, which preceded France's arrival. Since the tournament has been played between 5 or 6 teams, how many times have Ireland won it?
It's not that many. Sure,
we were talking about, we were surprised how many Wales had won. So Ireland was a good bit lower.
What was Wales though? Was it 14 or something?
Yeah, Wales is 12.
Okay.
How many times did they win under Schmidt?
2.
Twice.
Then I think the answer is 4.
No, but back in.
It's not Grand Slam though, is it? It's
the championship. I would have said 6.
I would say 6.
I'm happy to go with that.
Yeah. Oh no! Wait! Stop! Slow down. The last time we did this, I was wrong.
So it's just to refresh. How many times have Ireland won the 5 or the 6 Nations Championship since France joined it in 1910?
Oh, God.
So they won it. They won it twice under Schmidt, once under Kidney. We must have had 2 or 3 since 1910, have we? We won the Grand Slam in the 60s or 50s, was it? Or?
We did have one good era as well, where
under McDoyle.
Yeah, that's why maybe it's 5. Is it? Oh God. It's it's 4, 5, or 6, right? I think.
Yeah. Do you still think it's 4, or do you think it's?
I do, but that's based on not that much.
Yeah, but even if
But both of you don't think that, so I'm happier to go with the majority.
Well,
I think
so we won 2 Grand Slams, and then we've only won 2 other championships, both under our one under Schmidt.
No, we won 3 slams.
3 slams, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You both
Yeah.
said 6 initially, but then you've come back on 5 a bit, Jill, aren't you?
Look, I don't know why 6 was the first thing that came into my head, but that's because I'm counting. I think of a year that like in the kind of late 70s, early 80s, there's kind of a good era there for a little while. Some great
They
players.
definitely won a Triple Crown in like 82.
Yeah, around that. That's what I was kind of thinking, but okay.
Did we say 5 then?
Land on a number. We take 5 as your final answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not correct, I'm afraid. RTE, how many times? 5 nations or 6 nations championships?
6
Do you
or
include
7.
shared ones? Is it outright?
Is it outright, Rob? Because there were a couple we shared.
A couple have been shared, in which case that would be a
7
championship.
maybe?
Yeah.
No, it's at least 10 Ireland have won outright. They won 48, 50, 51.
48, 50, 51, 82.
They won one in the 70s. They won 74.
70, sorry, again, 48,
48, 50,
50,
51,
51,
74.
74, 82, 85.
Yeah, and I think 73 and 83 were shared. I think 73, all 5 of them shared it, and 83 we shared it with France.
83.
Then 09, 14, 15, and
18. There's 4 in
18.
the modern era. 4 in the modern
Yeah.
era. So before the 4 in the
That's
21st
12.
century. So
That's 12.
48, 50, 51.
74 shared, 82, 85.
No, 73 was shared. 74 they won outright.
73 was shared. Okay, 73, 54. That's 13.
48, 50, 51, 3.
That's 3.
73 shared. 4. 74 won outright. 82 they won outright. 83 they shared. 85 they won outright. How many are we up to now?
8.
And then the 4 in the modern era.
So 12.
12.
Unless they won one before 48, between 1910. They might have, like.
I don't think they did, no.
No.
I think that Carl Mullen team in the 40s.
They didn't win one in the 30s or
No,
snake
I
one
don't
or
think
the
so. They didn't
20s.
snake one. No snake had gone on.
Well, and go 12. So
We'll go the.
I think it
even
might. I think it might be a 13 or 14. But yeah, I don't know. We can't count beyond it.
Okay, we'll be just 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, what we've counted is 12. But I'm thinking we might have missed.
9, 10,
For some
11.
reason I have
Yeah.
14 in my head. I don't know why.
Oh, I don't know. Anyways, what are we going with?
What do you think, Owen? 12 or 14?
Well, if we just count back again.
Well, if you've counted 12, maybe go for 12. But
Go
whatever,
for 12, so.
whatever you reckon. I don't know.
12 then.
12.
Spot on. Took a while.
Oh.
Okay.
Well
3
done,
points. You'd almost be tempted to give it to you just for that detailed knowledge. You don't know who
Yeah.
scored the tries in each of those games as
Very
well.
impressive.
And their way to win it. Very impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the third question for Core, out of their sports questions, how many Grand Prix did Lewis Hamilton win last year in 2019? How many Grand Prix races did he win en route to the World Championship?
Ways outside my comfort zone. This one?
Yeah. Do you know how many races in a season, Phil?
Don't even know that.
Yeah.
The story of Miss Noel Martin, he'd have this wrote off straight away.
Yeah. Or Sarah Lynch. Damn it.
It's going to be a stab in the dark either way, isn't it? Do we any realistic guess we can put on a realistic sort of?
12
There's
would be-
quite a few. 12 is exactly what I was thinking as well. There's quite a few races, like, isn't there? I mean,
Yeah.
and
I
he's
mean,
he definitely won a lot, I would have thought, but
I think if we both magically came up with 12 from somewhere in our gut, it's as good a guess as not we're going to have, Sean.
No,
The
go
guys-
for it. Yeah, I'd hate to overrule it and then the answer be 12. So
the RTE guys are going to know how much petrol was in his tank
yeah.
as he came across the finish line. So yeah.
Well, So long as they don't need to give us the readings on each of the petrol tanks, but I'm afraid 12 is not the right answer. So you do have an opportunity.
What do you think?
I don't think we're going to have the same depth of knowledge about this question, to be honest.
I think there's about 20, 21 races in a season, roughly.
Okay.
About that. So did he win half of them? Did he win 10 or 11? Did he, how much did he win by? I don't know. I'm not quite a petrol head, but
he won it easily enough last year.
He did.
Maybe one more, 13, 14.
Yeah, they won a lot. I mean, the car itself won a lot.
Yeah.
They win all their 2 or 3. The car did. I don't know whether his teammate won it.
Whether he was in it, but I don't know.
12 is there 21 races? Yeah.
There's roughly maybe between 19, 20, 21. And last year, of course, they had a full year.
Was it a record last year? Was it?
I think he won it with a bit to spare. But
that's my memory of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 2020.
12 seems a bit high, though, isn't it?
9. What about 9? I don't. Again, we're shooting.
Go with 10. I go with 10.
10. Okay, 10. A shot in the dark.
Go with
Peter
10.
Sellers. Yeah.
Okay, so 10 from RTE Sport, 12 from core sponsorship. The magical number was, of course, 11.
11.
So no points there. So another 3 for RTE coming off of that round, and another 5 for core. But now we go into the questions going first to RTE Sport in the sports round. And it is a timely show. So there is a Liverpool question. Since Liverpool won the league title, what is the lowest position in which they have finished?
Finished 8th in Klopp's first season.
They were the Hodgson year.
Could have been lower than that.
Could have been lower than that. Hodgson was, yeah.
I mean, 8th. They came 8th sometime in the 90s as well, didn't they? That was as low as they went then. But the Hodgson year is the one sticking out to me.
Yeah, I think the 98-99 season they finished kind of lowish. Yeah, 8th. I don't think they've ever gone below 10th. I don't think they've ever. Maybe I'm wrong, but
which year was the Hodgson year? 2010-11.
2010-11, but Kenny took over in January.
And when did Hodgson have a full year out of it?
Sorry. Hodgson was gone in January.
Yeah, but did Hodgson? He didn't get a full season out of it.
No.
Benitez was there.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's 8th though, because I think 8th was as low as they went in the 90s.
He wouldn't have been back for a second season if he'd come lower than 8th, I think.
Yeah, and then Kenny. But then what about Kenny Dalglish's year before Brendan Rodgers?
I think he's still. I remember thinking it was a bit harsh. He got sacked. So I say 8. I doubt they've gone lower than
8.
Okay, we'll go with 8th. 8th is the lowest position they finished on 3 occasions since the last title win. Okay, question 2. How many different counties have won the All-Ireland Ladies Football Senior Championship? How many different counties have lifted the Brendan Martin Cup?
Something, I don't know, 12 sticks comes after
13.
Well, we're because this question is familiar. It may have been asked in some other quiz.
13.
13. Okay, Connor, you're more emphatic than I am.
He seems very sure.
Very sure.
I'm not very sure. I mean, come on now.
Okay, you're going to go with 13. I'm afraid that's not the right answer. So it goes.
It must be 12.
Hey, that's Jim was pretty happy on 12.
Have to bleep this one for YouTube, Rob.
12 seems a little high to me.
And but the lads were pretty confident on it.
Yeah, I'd go with. Go on.
No, just like Cork and Kerry have won a lot between them, and then there's kind of a few kind of scrappy ones. So kind of there's a collection kind of between between kind of like 6, 7, whatever, and then. So
Jim did say he heard the question before and went for 12, so that could be the.
I'm happy to be guided by it, but
yeah, to be honest, I don't have a clue. So if that's an informed guess, I'm happy to go with it.
What were you thinking, Jill? If you were thinking less?
It just feels a little high to me. That's all I kind of I would have thought that maybe it was around 9 or so, but I'm, if the guide's in RT Sport, I think it's 12 or 13.
Oh no, don't.
I wouldn't know.
I think
Who
we'd be
am I
looking.
to?
Yeah.
As much
Let's
as
just go with 12 because we kill ourselves if we didn't do it. Every day.
Okay, we'll take 12 as the final answer, and that is the correct answer.
Oh, sorry, Jim.
So a little payback. I think there was one in the
Sorry,
early
Jim.
stages that snuck out as well. So, so 3 points there on the rebound. And the final question of your home questions on the sports side, RTE Sport: how many major golf tournaments have been hosted at Whistling Straits, the home of the 2020 or possibly 2021 Ryder Cup? How many previous major tournaments have they hosted in Wisconsin?
A number. You're looking for a number rather than
a number. Yeah. Don't need the names of the winners or their birdie average or anything like that. Just the number.
6. Again.
6. Yeah.
I don't know.
Go with 6. Not the correct answer, I'm afraid. So it goes over the table. Core sponsorship.
Yes,
Any ideas, guys? Bill, any idea? Golf expert on the team.
Except for I am only a golf fan since I was about 15, so it's not that short, but not that long either. So I just wouldn't know the golf. I wouldn't know golf eras, So I just don't feel like I've heard it a lot, though. But that would be around the modern game. So I probably would have said 2 or 3, maybe. But it could be 10 because it could have been used tons of times. Golf is around so long. I don't know how old the club is or anything like that. So
I had 3 or 4 in my head, but kind of based off nothing much really. Other than that, I know it's hosted a few US Opens, and then maybe I don't even know if it's hosted BJ. I remember it beside a US Open name, all right.
I feel I can definitely remember 1. I feel like I can remember 2, but then there's probably been more. So
should we add in 1 or 2 for forgetfulness' sake?
Well, why don't we go with 3? Because you kind of said 3 or 4. I said 2 or 3. Cool. It could be 10 for all we know.
Let's shoot with 3.
Let's go with 3.
3 in the middle there, with a certain air of inevitability. I can tell you that it was in fact 4. 1 US Open and 3 US PGA Championships in 2004, 7, 10, and 15. So at the end of the first half, we have core sponsorship on 22 points, and we have RTE Sport on 28 points. So nice and close as we go into the second half, possibly the closest one that we've had so far. Not good for your heart, this. Okay, so we're going in the 3 rounds that we have before we get into the final round are geography, politics, and the movies. And the sporting star who we're going to test your deep, in-depth knowledge of is Serena Williams. So I want you to tell me in metric terms, so in centimeters, how tall is Serena Williams?
Oh, my metric is not.
So it might be, unless anybody has known her and met her on a number of occasions, it will probably be a stab in the dark. We will go and count you in from 3, 2, 1. 1.75, 1.74, 1.83, and 1.73. All very close, but only one of you spot on, and that was you, Jill Downey. She is 1 meter and 75 centimeters tall. So that puts you onto 2 points, which just narrows the gap a little bit, and you're into geography. Was geography part of your science degree, Jill?
No, geography.
Okay, just to set that straight. Okay, what is the capital city of Zambia?
I know this.
First core sponsorship.
I know this. It's Lusaka.
Okay.
It is Lusaka. Final answer.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
Wow, Phil.
5
points for Lusaka as the capital city of Zambia.
Have you been spotting capital cities?
No, I went there. I've been there.
Okay.
Okay.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, the last time I asked a similar question, it was Kathmandu, the capital of Nepal, but nobody had been there. Okay, which of these names is not on the list of storm names that we might have to endure over the next whatever 10, 14 or whatever until they get through to the end of this particular cycle? I'll give you 4, one of which is not on the list: Storm Hugh, Storm Mora, Storm Shane, or Storm Roisin. Which of those is not on the list of storm names relating to, I think it's just the UK and Ireland. I think the Americans have a different naming convention, but I doubt if any of those names would make it onto theirs anyway. So one of them isn't. What's your best guess?
Talk them again, Rob, sorry.
Yeah.
Sure. Storm Hugh, Storm Mora, Storm Shane, or Storm Roisin?
Well, I think Hugh was on the list.
Okay.
In terms of what's not on the list,
The one and it could end up being on there, but like Roisin, if we share the list with the UK, even just in terms of what they call it, but we had Kira, I suppose.
yeah.
It's gonna be a guess for me, really.
No, yeah, I would have said Shane as a clear guess, just because it sounds a bit generic for a storm. They're always a bit sort of different names, aren't they? But
yeah. What do you think, Jill?
that's literally the most. Yeah.
I'm loving the logic.
Yeah.
The least interesting name.
No, it's the most. Yeah, it's never a modern sort of. I don't know.
I'm happy to support Sean unless he's wrong. And
Cool. We'll go with Shane. So
no pressure. We'll go with Shane, and that scores you 5 points.
well done, Sean.
Yeah.
I would have bet $1,000 on it being Mora, but no, Mora is on the list. Okay, and the final geography round question: nitrogen is makes up the most significant proportion of the Earth's atmosphere. What percentage of the Earth's atmosphere does nitrogen make up?
You, Jill.
Oh, so I don't know why 70% is coming to my mind. There's obviously oxygen, carbon dioxide. It's something like that. Oh, actually, you know what? I could be way wrong. I can't remember. Since I've had my third baby, I can't remember anything anymore. I don't know what it is. It's just like the third child has ruined every memory cell I have. So I don't know. That's what kind of is sticking in my brain from. Maybe that's the body, though. Is it? It's kind of a.
I'm happier to take a more informed guess from Jill than a guess from me. Do you have any idea?
I'm completely in the dark here.
It's like my memory of. I could be thinking about the composition of something else, but my memory of it is it's much higher than you'd think.
If it came to your head first, it could be, happy to go with it.
I could be way off though.
Let's go with 70.
Okay, so we'll take it the final answer, 70%. That's not the right answer, I'm afraid. So it goes over to RTE. Your best shot, gentlemen.
Instinct was 76 or 77, and oxygen is 20. Oxygen is 21%.
All right.
It's mostly nitrogen.
76 appeared in my head, but I wouldn't put too much weight on that.
76 or 77 was what I thought first. So
Okay.
76?
76.
Make a choice. Yeah.
Okay, in a spirit of generosity, I'll give you both of them because neither of them are right. It was, in fact, a shade higher, 78%. So at the end of the geography round, then, an additional 12 points, a good score there. 34 core sponsorship are on now, a mere 6 ahead of RTE Sport on 28. So all very much to play for. Politics is the subject of the moment now, and in fact throughout the day for the most part. I love the fact that that the GAA draw for the championships are taking place at the same time as the results are about to be announced as to who our next government is. I know which one I would be wanting to watch. But okay, how many singles matches has Serena Williams won in her career? Obviously not knocking up with her daughter or anything like that, but in officially sanctioned tour events, how many singles matches has she won in her career to date?
Oh, like not titles, every match.
Not titles, but matches.
What?
Every match on the way to the title.
This is a tough one.
Okay.
I know how many career titles. Oh, this is the writing down one, is it?
This is the writing down one, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
But don't give too much away there, Jill. Okay, so count you in from 3, 2, 1. 1,500.
Sorry, I just had to scribble out the previous answer.
700, 1,200, 438. The correct answer is 834, which puts Owen in the box seat. And Owen, I think Owen scored a couple of those 2-pointers in the round of 16 as well. He's taken time to warm up today, but that puts you in there. So with politics in mind, our first question 1 in the politics round. What is the name of the political party that Justin Trudeau leads in Canada?
Liberals.
A very confident Liberal Party scores 5 points. Okay. Who is the current Prime Minister of Italy?
Giuseppe Conte, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to...
Giuseppe Conte or
Conte, yeah.
Giuseppe Conte. Yeah.
Giuseppe Conte is correct as well. Knocking it out of the park on politics. Okay, and the third question this round: how many signatories were there to the Proclamation of Independence in 1916?
7.
Yeah.
A confident 7, and politics proves to be your friend. So 17 points there.
Well done, Connor.
Well, Owen got delivered.
45 plays 34. Very, very close. That's all on the on the twist of a single question. We move into the final round now before the sporting year round, and it's the movies round. And in this one, I want to know, what is Serena Williams' current world ranking? So this is the one that you write down, and we will count you in from 3, 2, 1. 9, 4, 8, 27, 24, 123. That's a very big spread, but the correct answer is that she is currently the world ranked number 9 in ladies singles. So Jill gets that 2 points there. This is going to keep it very close towards the final round, if you know your movies. So there have been 3 sports dramas to have won a Best Picture Oscar in the 92-year history of the Oscars. What was the most recent of those?
Sports dramas.
Best Picture.
I think, well, I know. I presume it is considered a sports drama. Yeah, it is, obviously. It's Best Picture, is it?
Best Picture Oscar, yeah.
Is it the one that that guy was in? He was he's kind of wrecked now, but he was a really good-looking guy in the 80s. And he's a boxer.
Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke, yeah. Did that win Best Picture? What was that movie called?
The Wrestler.
The
Wrestler. Did that win Best Picture?
That's a good show, actually. Definitely won a few Oscars.
It was either that or another boxing one that came to mind. Oh, fuck it, I may as well say it because that probably RT will know. Like $1 Million Baby definitely won.
That's what came into my head.
But I kind of think The Wrestler did too, though, or maybe he won Best Actor. But it kind of did it not come out of nowhere and win?
I can't remember if it won or not. That's me thinking. But
what other sport-relating dramas would have won? Like Chariots of Fire.
Rocky definitely won.
Like Rocky.
Rocky definitely won, but $1 Million Baby was what came into my head.
Was there? What about the one Sea Biscuit or one of those That didn't win anything, did it?
There's a one with Kevin Costner, and that's going back. Probably. I think if you got both of you guys $1 Million Baby came to your head, it's a reasonable show anyway.
Yeah, I'm terrible on movies, but for some reason the wrestler comes to mind as well. But like I definitely know $1 Million Baby one, didn't it? Well, or maybe it was Clint one director for that. Yeah. Oh God, I don't know. I'm now wrecking my own head.
It's what came to my head was $1 Million Baby. So
okay, do you want to go with that? Then you're the captain.
Go. If it's gonna be the wrestler, I'm gonna.
You're the boss here.
Yeah,
yeah. I'm not sure that's true, but we'll go with $1 Million Baby.
$1 Million Baby secures your contract of employment for at least another 3 months anyway. $1 Million Baby, well done.
You too, Joe.
5 points. Question 2 in the movie round. The movie Spotlight was based on which newspaper's investigation of abuse in the Catholic Church?
Oh, I know this one. Yeah, Boston Globe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Boston Globe is correct. Another 5 points. And the third question, which was the last movie in the Avengers franchise not to top the global box office charts? I want the name of the movie.
Hoping you're a superhero fan, Phil.
I know some of the names. That'll be about it. So, Endgame, I think, was the last one, as the name kind of suggests, and I'd be pretty shocked if that didn't top the box office. Age of Ultron was another one, and then Avengers Assemble was the first one. The problem with these Marvel films is they all are interlinked and they all contain each other. So there's going to be some that I'm going to think of that aren't actually going to be an Avengers film.
Do you know, Jill? Any suggestions?
This is about as far away from what I know about as.
I was hoping you were going to say Susie was into them. I was like, oh,
yeah.
No, she's too young, really. Yes, unfortunately.
I thought that might be the case.
I'm pretty good on Disney.
Too old.
Or Serena, obviously.
Phil, I'd say take a stab, but I don't even know their names.
I'm pretty sure this isn't right.
The Ultron one doesn't sound like I know. I've heard of the other two, so I was going to guess that. But I don't know anything about them. So.
Okay,
we'll go Age of Ultron then.
Avengers Age of Ultron in 2015 is the correct answer.
Oh, nice.
So a sparkling last couple of rounds now leaves us with RTE Sport on 45 points, and 17 points from that moves core sponsorship onto 51. So 6 points in it.
Ooh.
We go.
Can't take it. I can take a break.
It's okay. Yeah, we have full editing capabilities on this, so all of those little expletives and things like that. Okay, so the final round, and we will go to RTE Sport for the opportunity to answer these first. You get 5 points if you get it right, 3 points if it goes over to the other side. You have first shot at knowing or telling me 3 subjects from the sporting year of 2011. Okay. Who won the Formula One world title in 2011?
I think it's Vettel.
Vettel.
I think it's Vettel. Sebastian Vettel. My own.
Formula One, not my strong point. I'm happy to go with that if you think.
I think it's Sebastian Vettel. Yeah.
Vettel.
Okay, Sebastian Vettel is worth 5 points, moves you to within 1 point of core. Who won the men's singles title at Wimbledon in 2011?
I think it's Djokovic.
Djokovic was first came to my head.
Yeah.
Moves you on to a lead on 55 points. And the third question, which county won the All-Ireland Camogie title in 2011?
My instinct is Wexford.
I'll go with that.
The year they won it in between the Cork.
I think it's the year Galway missed free in the last minute, and I think Wexford won it.
Okay.
Wexford is the correct answer, which moves you on to 60 points. So 9 points clear. You can do the maths. Each question is worth 5 points, but if it goes over the table, it's worth 3 to RTE Sport. So you have 3 shots to secure back the lead and a place in the semi-final core sponsorship.
Jeez.
Who won the Super Bowl in 2011?
Sean, any ideas?
Nothing jumping out.
I think it was the Green Bay Packers, but that could be 2012.
Yeah,
What year was the year the electricity went in the stadium?
I didn't even know that happened.
Oh,
That's not that long ago, I thought.
No,
No.
that's been in. It's been in like every marketing deck about how well people handled it, like something unusual.
Oh yeah, you're
happening.
right. Actually, I think that you're probably right. That was about 14. That was that 2014
Was it?
maybe.
Okay, so I'm between the Baltimore Ravens and the Green Bay Packers, so I want one of you to pick between
Is
those
it not?
two.
It's not Patriots time now.
Any year is Patriots, so I'm going to kick myself if it is then. But
Well,
I think-
look, your instinct
with
was
the
Green
gut,
Bay,
yeah.
so go with that. Go with
Yeah.
that.
Green Bay Packers. Correct answer.
Well done.
You on to
Class, Phil. Fair
56.
play.
Okay. Question 2. Who won the 2011 US Open in golf?
Oh, is it not McDowell? Is it?
yeah, that was my first thought. Yeah.
He definitely he won Sports Personality of the Year that year as well, I think.
Okay, well then, yeah, he was the first person who came to my head for 2011.
Oh, was it just before? It was definitely before Susie was born. She was born in August 12. No, I think it's still 11. I think it's 11. Yeah. Okay, we'll go with McDowell.
Yeah, because it was Father's Day. It was like June, July time.
Yeah, McDowell.
Yeah, go McDowell.
Go with Graham McDowell. I'm afraid that's not the right answer.
Damn it.
McIlroy.
It's McIlroy then. Yeah, he won the year after.
McIlroy.
Yeah,
It was Rory McIlroy
Graham McDowell won it in 2010.
who won by a record 8 shots. So 3 points there for RTE Sport. The final question to Core: who won the 2011 women's singles title at Wimbledon?
Bit early for Kvitova, is it?
It's probably Serena, but
It's pressure free now, Jill, because we
we can't win anyway, is it?
no academic now.
Okay. I'd like. It was Serena for so many years. Like it feels like it would be
Balance of
weird to say
probability.
anyone else. And but like it, could have been the year that I don't know, Bartley or somebody like that one. But yeah, I'm going with Serena. Will you say Serena?
Yeah.
Say Serena. I'm afraid not.
I think it's Petra Kvitova.
I think he's committed away, yeah. I think so.
Petra Kvitova, who beat Maria Sharapova in the final. So that does conclude the round. The most dramatic that we've had so far as well. It came right down to the wire. And unfortunately, it was that 8-stroke victory of Rory McIlroy that just slipped the mind
so
course sponsorship and handed it over. So we end on a final score of core sponsorship on 56, certainly the highest losing score to date, but 10 points clear of that on 66. Well done to the team from RTE Sport. So my thanks indeed to Phil, to Sean, to Jill for your competition, and my congratulations again to Owen, to Connor, and to Captain Jim McMahon. You are into the semi-finals.
Thank you, Rob.
Guys.
Thanks, Rob.